got out of the office. The phone kept ringing.
Hold the button on the bottom.
After 6 short months, I got the hang of it. There we go. Showboating. All right. We'll call the meeting to order. We have a roll call. Is anybody here for public forum? Lisa?
My first?
Sure.
Do I get to sit here? Do I have to sit by the microphone? Well, let's do the microphone. I'm all into that.
The microphone, yeah, the
Yeah,
microphone
right
picks
on.
up on YouTube.
Okay. Whoa, whoa. All right. I just have a little question here. On my utility billing for all my properties, all 6 of them, which I think is a little odd. I never received a May bill, not for any of my properties. It didn't get emailed to me. I didn't even get a late notice. And we all know here that I live by my late notices, okay? So when something had been drawn to my attention in June that we hadn't paid our utility bill, I was shocked because I'm like, God, usually I get that yellow piece of paper in the mail. And I didn't get that yellow piece of paper, because you guys could have a pizza party on my late fees. But it would have triggered me to do something, and then something else wouldn't have been triggered later on. Okay. But what I'd really like to know is why none of my May bills on any of my properties came out to me. When you look online, they're not even online. Lisa printed them out for me last week, but I still want to know, is there a glitch? Why aren't they online? Why didn't I get them? Why weren't they sent to me? Did it happen to anyone else's accounts?
Not that I'm aware of.
Anyone else?
Do-
Could we
do
find
you
out
receive-
why this happened?
Do you receive them in the mail?
Nope.
No, I mean, do you normally receive them in the mail?
Only the late notices. Only
Okay.
the yellow piece of paper, which I have not received. I never received for May. I didn't receive anything for May.
But you normally receive all of them just in the mail, right?
I normally receive them all online as a notice, like you come out, your bill's
Yep.
is due, blah, 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 blah. That's your notice. I didn't receive that
And when
either
you say online, you mean by email?
by email. Yes, sorry, by email.
Yeah, through the payment service network, right?
Right. But I didn't receive anything, not for any property, not the billing,
Can
and
the-
not any late notices.
Can the payment service verify that they mailed it? Because we don't email it.
No,
right?
the late fees Lisa mails out.
I didn't receive
I mail the regular
anything.
ones.
So she
I didn't
mails out-
receive anything.
So that's, and Lisa usually, what you said you make all theirs into one envelope, right?
So they're not they don't have the same address on each one, but I know they all go the same place. So I put them in
PO
one
Box
envelope.
265, right.
Mhm.
But I didn't receive anything online.
Do you remember
I mean,
mailing a
email.
late notice?
Yes.
I
Okay.
didn't get it. I'm just telling you, usually I get them and I like those because it triggers me to do something. Now,
Does-
that's my fault, me being late. I get that. But now it's all
Okay.
in my smartphone. But
Yeah.
I want to know what happened to the May
Yeah,
billing.
so hold on a second.
Mhm.
So does we have a service that sends the bills out, right?
No.
We email them
The
out?
email.
The email, yes.
Yep.
Late
That's what-
notices are all handled.
I'm talking about, so she seems to remember mailing the late notices, but Lisa did not receive those.
Yeah, I can see what happened with the payment service network on that.
So the payment service should have a record that they sent
Her
to
email.
which emails.
Yeah, we
It
can look
may be
into that.
her email is different. Did you used to have Harmony?
No,
Tell-
We can look
Bell.com.
on there and we can see that I got my June
Yeah, it's the.
and I
it's
got
the-
my March,
Mhm.
but there's no May, there's no April. I mean, there's April, March, April, no May, but June on all of my accounts. May is missing
How
on
about
every single
July?
one.
Did
Huh?
you get July?
We haven't done them
Haven't done 'em yet.
Okay.
yet.
Well, I did look online. It is available due,
Okay.
no, right, you're right about that. But I'm just saying that
Just the 1 month.
these are a screen printout
Okay,
of the billing history on all my accounts.
we can see what happened with the payment service network.
And May
See
is
if that
gone on
was
all of them.
A common mistake there.
And I'd like to know why. Well, I don't think that's a common mistake and it shouldn't be.
No, it shouldn't be. a
Okay,
common mistake. I
all right.
wanna-
Especially since it's absolutely.
But it triggered something else, and I don't want to get into that but I'm just really concerned about the billing and why it happened. If there was a glitch,
Or if
I'd like to
anyone
know
else,
about
yeah.
it,
Yep. Well, administration will look into it.
I appreciate that,
So that
Devin.
means that with the special proposition they had to make it look like we get our business license, which we haven't received yet, makes us look like we didn't pay our bills.
Well, I'm not here to discuss that right now. I just am concerned
I'm
about,
concerned about it.
I know, but what I'm talking about right now is the May billing.
I'm really concerned about it.
Okay.
We
then,
still don't have
well-
our business license.
And then if there's a late fee, I don't think we should charge them a late fee. They never got their bill too. So I think you should disregard the late fee.
What about that?
I would have been late
special
anyway.
transition that you guys had to make it look like we can get a license without paying our utility bills?
Have we
What's that all
received,
about?
has anybody received their licenses yet?
No, I usually do that in mid-July, end of July.
So
Usually do
we
that.
have to get them from
Well, we're
the,
supposed to receive our licenses
That's-
before July
No, the-
1.
The certificate is what you get, and
Yeah.
that's always been late July, you get the certificate.
I've always
I-
received, okay, I will disagree with that because I've received my license before July 1st on many occasions.
only if we've approved them at the May meeting. If we approve them at the June meeting, they're not going to get to the state
But I-
in time to
There-
get back.
it
We
was-
can't give them to
And guess
you
what?
until the
Okay.
state sends them
Since
to
we're going to
us.
go there,
Okay?
so since we're going to go there, so this is the folder that Devin dropped off. And I wrote on here when I received it, he dropped it off when I was in Rochester shopping. And I got I received it on 5/11. And then I called him the following Monday and I said, when should I get this in? Because there was no cover letter there or anything like that. He says, as long as it's in by June 3rd, that's fine. I ended up dropping it off and I got a receipt from Devin on May 18th. So I couldn't have turned it in before the May meeting, council meeting, because I didn't receive it before then.
Okay.
I didn't
Well,
want to
then
go,
we
I just really came here to talk about my May billing, okay?
Right, okay. So we should get those out sooner so you can get it in earlier. But like I said, the state, once we've approved you at our June meeting.
I understand that process. I've been doing this process for a number of years now, so I
You're-
get that.
You're licensed, right?
Mhm.
You just don't have the certificate.
Right, but I'm just saying, when you said that usually they get distributed after July 1, that is inaccurate in past years, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Am I done?
Yeah.
Thank you
thanks.
very much for your time.
Thank you, Lisa.
All right, and Gary?
Yeah, I've got an issue with your city ordinance about putting grass in the street and your employee, Mr. Whalen. I'm tired of going to mow a yard and have to look over my shoulders every time I go. I go to mow a lawn, I ain't even done, and he's got the cops there giving me a citation for blowing grass into the street. Now Kyle, you mowed your lawn today, right?
Yep.
You must have had grass in the street, right?
Yep.
You blew it off, right?
I blew it back into my
Yeah.
yard.
That's what I do. But I can't do it till I'm done, right? Okay, I ain't even done and I have a citation in my vehicle. Corey goes by, a few minutes later, here's Jason. They're like this. I'm tired of it. It's nothing more than harassment. He's not gonna stop doing it until you confront him and do something about it. It's rather obvious. He talked him into sending me a letter earlier, a year ago? You had no evidence on the charges he put in there, did you?
What evidence are you talking about?
When you sent that letter that I was stalking, harassing him and threatening him, what evidence did he show you?
Well, are we talking about grass or are we talking about?
Well, we're talking about the whole situation. That's what's leading up. to
This incident had nothing to do with the city employee. It was not, city employees had nothing to do with this issue outside of me who wrote an email the night before saying, please look out for people mowing grass into the street. The complaint did not come from a city employee.
Well, where'd you figure it out that there was grasses in the street?
It came from me.
Okay.
I saw you on 139, I actually had to swerve and miss you blowing it into 139.
I can't blow against the wind. The wind is blowing like today, you ain't blowing back.
What I witnessed was you distributing the roll of grass that you had in the street into 139.
I can only get so much back into the yard when the wind is blowing.
That's what I saw. I saw what I saw.
Yeah.
That's what I told you.
Did you go by after it was done?
Yeah, I went back home.
Was it clean then?
Well, it was just into the 139 where you distributed it out. So,
Well, I'm gonna say too,
I mean, it wasn't,
sorry, go ahead, Kyle.
but it just wasn't like blown into a pile to be picked up or anything. I mean, it was blower over your head distributing it into 139.
Over my head, I carry my blower.
It was just like this. On the side.
I'm gonna say, I tried to bring this up
Well,
last month, that either something does need to be done within the city, and Devin has noticed it and stuff too. It is getting to be more than we want into the city streets. Last meeting, I said, how are we gonna, are we either gonna citation everyone once we see it, or are we gonna call, put in,
Good question. So the ordinance is you can't blow it in the street. I
Period.
believe, and I reinforced this to Devin after I heard about this, the way we should approach it is we ask our officers if they see grass blown into the street and not cleaned up, the person should get a warning or a citation. Obviously, if you mow alongside a curb, even if you're blowing the other way, some grass could get into the street. And as long as people are, after they're done mowing, blowing that back onto the yard, the officers would not issue a warning or a citation for someone that has already cleaned up. I don't know if I want to address one particular issue that you're bringing up. I'd be happy to talk with you afterwards, but if you want me to go into it right here, I will.
okay. If you're gonna give citations out, you give them out to everybody. You don't pick and choose. There was 2 other people that I seen him stop
It was
at,
3 or 4. Yeah.
and they give them warnings. They didn't give them why a citation to me?
Did you ask anybody? Are you
Okay.
asking me?
I'm asking you, why the inconsistency? Why did the other people get a warning and I get a citation?
It happens very often in law enforcement.
Yeah.
And there is,
And it happened to be me, yeah. And I wasn't done. The other people were done mowing and in the house. What are the odds of them cleaning up the street?
they should have received a warning.
They did. They should have received a citation. They were done mowing and in the house. I wasn't done mowing.
So Because the city ordinance, I mowed my lawn.
Excuse
I
me,
always mow
excuse
the
me,
other
this,
direction.
Miles, this is public forum. We've got one guy.
So, anyway, I don't know if you're willing to waive this or not, but if you ain't, let me know, so I can make a work date.
We don't make any decisions based
Well, that's
on,
fine.
no, just let me finish, based on public forum. But if you were on the agenda, we could address an issue, but
Well, you got the information, just let me know. If you aren't gonna waive it, I'll make a court date.
Okay. All right. Anyone else for public forum? All right, we'll go on to the consent agenda.
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second it.
Motion and second. Any discussion? I would just, since we're on the consent agenda and it's one of the items, I would just mention for the public record that Corey Whalen passed his wastewater treatment
Yeah, his C
Class
licensure,
C.
yep.
license. So he should be congratulated for that. I think all three of our,
All three now have C
Have that now?
license, yep.
Yep. Those election judges, that's what we need is 7 or whatever it is.
We can cover with 7, yes, that's plenty to cover the election.
Okay.
We have 2 head judges. Stephanie will be handling the morning, I'll be handling the evening.
Okay.
And Eileen will be with me in the evening to, take me through my first election as she's done many in years past. I'm happy I have a dry run in August before the big one in November.
You just got schooled, so. There was only.
all right. No one has
Oh,
any-
I got one question.
Oh,
That's, I knew it was someplace. Morms replaced just one street light for $13,000.
No, that was the drilling on Niagara Court that you approved last November.
Oh,
It
boring.
finally happened and it went over budget because the boring was far more expensive. There was a lot more rock in the road than they thought.
okay,
So they quoted us at 11, it came in at 13.
okay.
So that's from a project that you approved last year.
All right, good.
The project's not complete yet. We're waiting to see whether or not Wicked Drive will be finished by Overland Group, because then they'll go along with that street project. If that project falls through, then they'll finish the work as is.
Okay. Nope, sounds good. I just thought.
Yeah, it's an expensive one. Yes,
Was that
it
the
was
new ones, or
expensive.
was that?
That was the line that basically has been ripped, went bad
They
in the
just
wall
finally
there.
got it built
Yeah.
out for us. Okay.
Well, finally did it. They've been backed up.
Okay.
All right. Hearing no further discussion, call for a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. New business. New mayor pro tem.
Yeah, with this, the motion should also include a new signee for the next 6 months too. Because Tony Weber was the signer on behalf of the mayor if the mayor was not around.
Okay. Well, I was thinking of, are you interested in that? Or I was thinking of having Jesse.
I can do it. I should be here. That's right. You.
It's okay with me.
It's only 4 or 5 more meetings.
Still get to sign just Steve on the front, right? So I need to do anything? No.
All right.
We just need to make a motion for it.
What's that? Yep. So I'll make a motion to assign Sagan as pro tem and as signatory for the city.
I'll get those documents lined up, Steve, at the bank, and when it's complete, I'll let you know.
I'll second it.
We have a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Abstained.
There's no pay increase, you can vote.
Yeah, we-
You don't have to abstain from being assigned work. Uh, Do we need to have council action on the probationary period?
Yes, on this one, just like Corey, you voted to increase it. The only reason this was not in the consent agenda was in case Jesse was here, because Jesse wasn't able to vote on it, so we pulled it out of
Oh, I see.
consent agenda. The motion, though, that we do need is that the new role of ambulance director and finance clerk is going to be increased to grade 4 after it was newly graded out by David Drown, the same people who did our wage and comp study. So it's a change of grade. So we just, we're really accepting the new job description and grade change, and then ending her probationary period.
Okay, I would make a motion.
I'll second it.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We should have waited till she got back from vacation.
She just left yesterday. It's
Just like- yeah.
Last night, yep. Or this morning. All right, we'll go on to reports.
Building and maintenance, you have the wastewater treatment plant report and the bill for this past month. We do need action on the bill. I did not receive the bill until 4 o'clock today, so it did not make the claims. So we'll just have to have that approved. We are currently continuing the wastewater report. We are talking with SEH about the UV study. We should have a meeting the next month or so, kind of a kickoff meeting with the engineering firm, kind of discuss what the next steps are with that. I will have Rick there along with Corey, Brian, and Terry, whatever 3 of the guys want to be there too. And any council members, probably Steve and Kyle there too, if you want to be.
And SCH is,
They're the firm doing the UV study. So when I have more information on a meeting in the next, I'll let everyone know.
is that the name of the firm or just the initials?
SEH is the initials of it. I don't know what partners.
Okay,
I can't name all 3 last names of that firm.
okay. All right, I'd make that a motion.
I'll second it.
Have a motion and a second to pay the certification service contract, $1,500. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Do we know when Terry's going to take his B test?
He would usually have to wait 2 years after you pass your C.
Okay.
We're seeing if there's any way around that.
Okay.
But usually it's 2 years after you pass your C, you have to wait. We're trying to figure out if he can finagle that into sooner so he can take his test sooner.
Perfect.
Brian and Corey would have to wait until they're 6 year working here. Usually you need 6 years experience before you can take your B test.
There's no problem that we had the resolution for the judges in the consent agenda.
That's totally.
Is that
That's
okay?
totally fine. The next thing is we have 2 purchases for Public Works. On one page, you have the Christ Steel invoice. Steve and Kyle, the price did go up almost $2,000 for a laser system to guide the wing, so
Oh.
Terry doesn't clip stuff.
Okay,
It's a good thing. It will save us.
okay.
So that's why the price went up a little bit. It's $71,000 that'll be taken from the 401 fund. Currently, there is no second plow truck for winter when winter comes, or in the summer we use the second plow truck to haul as a dump truck too. So we're in desperate need of a backup truck for this, and this will help us in the future too. In 7 years, when we have to buy a new plow truck to have a schedule, so we can trade in this one to help and buy the new one too. So that's kind of what we're looking at, is to make sure that we start a nice schedule with our plow trucks.
I'll make a motion that we buy the truck
I'll second that.
Okay,
for
motion,
71,459. Correct.
We're locked in at that price then?
Yep.
Right? I mean, that's.
Yep.
Nothing's gonna change.
okay, we have a motion to purchase a truck in a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
I,
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Yeah, we got lucky because usually these go in a day, so we got very lucky that we found this one.
we had one that went in a day.
Yeah, the last one we
It's
looked at was
cheaper.
gone.
Yeah.
The trucks are selling fast. We just keep getting ready for winter. The next one is also for the skid loader. The hydraulic blower is no longer working, and that's how we clean the streets in the not the streets, the sidewalks in the winter. And also the brush is also, the bristles are shot for the skid loader too. So the Hamel equipment invoice in front of you is for both of those. Once again, this will be coming out of the 401 fund for replacing our equipment.
I'll make a motion that we buy the blower and brush.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for the purchase from Hamel for the power broom and what's the other piece? The
Snow blower.
Yeah, blower.
angle? Yeah.
The angle
Snow
blower. Yep.
All right. Any further discussion?
What are we doing with the old stuff?
Trading them in.
We traded it in.
If you look at the bottom of the list, we're trading in
What do we-
3 items: the bush hog, the snow blower, and the broom for $4,100.
Gotcha.
We didn't use the bush hog for,
No, we replaced it. That's the one we replaced earlier this year, the John Deere.
oh, with the
Yeah.
track, or
Yeah.
for the track. Okay,
The John Deere wasn't give us anything for it, so we held it. Hamel was willing to give us a little bit for it.
and Terry said, he had talked to him today, and he had problems with the blower and stuff.
Yeah, the hydraulics are
Last
shot in
year.
it.
Yeah. So,
All right. Did we vote on that?
Nope.
no,
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
I-
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
just spending money.
Mhm.
It's the climate of things right now, though. If you don't buy it right now, they're saying that this equipment might not be available for 2 years.
What's that?
If we don't buy this equipment now, it might not be available for 2 years.
Oh. They got a tell for us though.
All right, EDA report. I think we have the draft minutes. And we didn't have any loans to approve, did we?
No, it was a pretty straightforward meeting.
Guess maybe the only thing to report is that we're looking at increasing the housing level for rebates. eventually.
The brackets.
Brackets, yeah, there we go, brackets.
Mhm.
So tried to make a little bit more incentive. Price of houses are going up when we first started. probably 100,000, but so that's something they're looking at for charting and redoing, I guess, but
Something the EDA may recommend to the council at a later date. And we reviewed the current housing program and how it's went for the last 7-8 years. And looks like the tax collections are running ahead of
Yeah,
what
we've exceeded what we've
planned
paid out.
on. Oh,
Yeah, we've got more in taxes in 5 years than was paid out from the incentive.
Tin Rust and Harmony Building. What's
We
Yeah,
started the process of foreclosing EDA loan. So,
once that's done, then is it going?
so
Yeah.
if that played out to finish, EDA would own it, have to sell it.
Okay.
That's maybe a big if, because there's a lot of things that could resolve it.
Okay.
So,
and we do that to get our
Money.
small loan amount back.
Okay.
And if that money comes back, it just comes back into the
Into
EDA
your-
loan fund.
Yeah, it's in your fund.
Gotcha.
there, the next step was to,
we published the paper, legal section, publishing, started in 6 weeks, published notice, there's a sheriff's sale scheduled for September 1st. So we just have to personally serve owners, occupants, other lien holders, so that's what will happen next, steps in the process.
Very good. Let's jump to the park board. We have a pay request.
You know, we got to approve the pay request so I can submit it to the state to get our half that we have for the grant.
Would you, you won't send that to the state until we've completed it, right? And got
I have
it?
to, there's paperwork I have to fill out
Okay.
for the grant. I have all the paperwork on my computer right now.
Okay.
I'm still waiting on the prevailing wage reports too, so there's a bunch of stuff that has to go with it.
who's on the park board?
Hmm?
Who's on the park board?
I'll make that motion.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
Jesse and
just, I mean, is that,
Jesse
Yeah.
Kyle.
We have the current payment of $69,949.20 to pay.
Why am I seeing 67,949?
That's the current payment, number 8. On the application certification for payment page, it's number 8 is the current payment that we got to make.
that's basically on the splash pad stuff. Is somebody keeping a total of,
The splash, this is separate from the splash pad. This is just the shelter.
yeah, okay. All right. This was our part, right?
The splash pad was the city. Yep. I mean, the shelter, excuse
Shelter.
me.
All right, we have motion and a second to approve the payment for the shelter. All in favor, say aye.
I,
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
I will,
You did?
sure.
I thought somebody said that.
Well, they did. I might have missed it.
I talked fast.
The shelter, a little update on the shelter. It's running on schedule.
Okay.
Should be completed in mid-August. With that, we're waiting on some splash pad. We got the wrong manifold, so the manifold's got to be sent back and sent here. But we're still waiting on MPCA approval. We have tentative approval. We're waiting for final approval from the MPCA. So we're waiting on that letter from them to get going with the splash pad.
Good, good. While we're on the splash pad, do you have any comments, Steve?
We're happy that we've come through all the hurdles.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, it's been almost 2 years since we started this.
Mhm.
We're happy that I got the plans in hand.
Good.
Just once we get the MPCA, then we can start digging, but somewhere.
I enjoyed one of the comments I saw. It was either Department of Health or the MPCA that said something like, you know, we had inquired a couple years ago if we had to run it through sanitary sewer or if we could run it off. And they said, oh, sure, it's splash pads you can run off. Now they're saying, oh, well, this is the first splash pad built in the karst region. It's like, how long have we been a
There's some
karst
other
region?
Things that are entering into it that you don't want to get into.
Yeah.
Legal issues.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
we're happy that they decided to decide in our favor.
Yep.
Because we don't have enough money to put a septic system in.
Nope.
Right.
And it sounds like they wouldn't do that, but they're going to have us test it for a couple of
Yeah,
years.
So, like I
Good.
said,
Other park,
Nice.
I'd like to see those when you get,
oh, it's,
before you leave.
I think you've seen them already. It's just blown up. It's a blown up
this is
thing.
just blown up version.
Oh.
It's so they can scale it.
You're not
It's,
gonna understand it anyways.
it's,
I helped you build.
This is a little more complicated. than you do.
other park board information, last night we didn't have a quorum, so there was no motions made. We're looking to buy tennis windscreens for the pickleball / tennis. They were $86 a piece, and we're looking to buy 4 of them. So if we can have the motion here, otherwise, or else I can put on the credit card and have them claims next month. I can do that too. But we didn't have a quorum, so we couldn't make any motions last night.
I'd make a motion to buy those.
I'll second it.
Any discussion?
They're a lot of help.
All in favor, say aye.
I,
The big plan.
Opposed?
Oh, sorry about that.
Hearing none, motion carries. Go ahead.
The big plan next year for park board is to have the tennis courts resurfaced and painted and have the basketball court lines repainted and try to find a sealant so they last more than a few months. Wasn't that the issue last time?
All right.
did you say tennis courts? But are you gonna put like pickleball lines in?
Yes.
Okay,
They currently,
know.
it'll have all the lines they currently have. Yep.
yeah, okay. I just know that they go up there, or used to go up there, I guess.
This windscreen was a request by the pickleball players. They said they would use the courts more if there were windscreens.
Okay,
So that's where it came from. There was some money in the budget for the park board to do that. So
They make tennis a lot better too.
yes, and it's
Yeah.
only going to be on the north and south side because that's generally what you do is keep it on
Yeah.
on the ends.
on the end.
So you're just buying 2?
4 of them. Yeah, because they're 8 by 50 feet and the fence there is 11 by 100.
I was gonna jump back quick to Steve for just a second if I can. We're gonna get the splash pad for a short time to use this year. And then is it already in the preparing or getting ready that it'll be winterized then, right? I mean, who's gonna
That's
winter?
pretty easy.
Okay, that's good, okay.
That's basically just bring the pumps, put an air compressor on it. blow everything
It'd be terrible.
up.
Cracked right away.
Barbie,
Mhm.
Okay, good, yeah.
We're hoping to get it sometime with the splash pad this year.
Okay, that's what I was, yeah, I didn't know.
I've only done it for 19 years.
Oh, of course.
Yep.
23 years.
Maybe go with the splash pad. Don't make any promises.
No
It's been
promises.
a problem after problem for this thing. So
You got it.
All right. Library board meet?
Not enough, no quorum or anything, just met and chatted for a moment, nothing.
I do want to make a note of that Kay is going to retire from the library at the end of the month. So had a busy order time working for the library.
Yes.
Great. Thank you, Devin, yeah.
And is someone just moving in that's already here or?
They're still kind
They're
of
looking
figuring
at-
out. Stephanie today kind of gave me the idea she has for it. She was gonna move one of her current library aides to the child aid and see if they need to hire someone new for it.
Yeah, I might do something. Yeah, I might.
So we're still, she has ideas that she wants to go forward with it. If there's a job, it'll be posted here shortly by the end of the month.
Yeah, because I saw she always had 2 different positions.
Yep,
Okay.
you have the circulation aids and you have the child planner.
Yep, activity planner.
Okay, Arts Board?
They meet next week.
Okay. Fire Department, we had another individual put his name on the waiting list. And we had retirement. Steve Donnie retired with 37 years of service.
Thank you, Steve. Nice job. Steve.
About time.
Yeah.
37 years. Wow.
So far, I'm staying on as the president of the Relief Association until somebody wants my position or I have to leave. It's not a city position, so it's not covered that way. And I'm still assisting with gambling, so I should say
Thank you, Steve.
charitable gambling. And everybody sees the sheriff's report. Any questions on that?
I'll say the ambulance has been pretty busy.
Yeah,
It's been,
It was almost 30 calls this year.
yep, pretty busy.
and I would point out, I don't remember the dates, but we have the community night out coming, and I think we're.
August
What's the
2nd?
date?
August 2nd.
August 2nd. And so we're gonna have some up here, I think a fire truck and the ambulance, unless it's gone.
Yeah, we'll be up there.
Will be here, and then we're also sending a fire truck out to Green Leafton.
Helicopters coming due.
What's that?
Helicopters coming due.
Helicopter's coming here?
Awesome.
From which one?
That's what Sam said, Mayo maybe,
Okay.
probably Gunners, but.
Or guns.
Or what's his name? It's Gunnarsson, does he?
I think Alex.
Alex, I think he was here last time.
I maybe comment last night, said Gunderson can't because they're doing some training.
Oh.
It's tied up that night. So maybe,
Chris is gonna ask Melissa.
Kids always like that.
right.
I'd like to get in.
If we're open, Steve, for
Oh,
discussion.
and we all, at the fire, we also approved or the chief did, approved 1 year leave of absence for Alex Scollin. So that just kind of freezes him so he can come back within that 1 or 2 year period. And pick up where he left off. Anybody else got anything for our meeting?
I was gonna ask Melissa how 4th of July went.
That's good.
Good. Kind of sounded a little.
How many buttons did we sell?
505 adult buttons and 133 child buttons. Was that from last year? We sold 500 buttons, adult buttons last year, and about the same kids, I don't say.
Nice.
So we will be writing a check to the fire department for $500. $1. I won't. No, but
Parade, was it a good turnout? The ambulance we got paged out a minute or two before, the parade, so good crowd or?
yes,
Okay.
I missed the parade because I was up here helping the Worcester band.
Okay.
Get set up here. I think overall, our attendance, considering the rain, was the
Yeah.
best we could expect.
Yeah.
Our pedal pull had a good turnout, even
Good.
though we were in the gym.
Yeah.
Worcester was packed. and
Good.
We had lots
Mm.
of people.
A little excitement with no water.
Yeah, so first you give me a lot of water in the
Yep.
morning and then you take it all.
Took it all away.
So yeah, so we had 300 people here in the gym and no water, so that was a little stressful.
So people don't know the tower was struck by lightning and the leveling sensor in the water tower went out. So the water tower had no idea how much water was in the tower, so it just kept decreasing, and that caused pressure issues.
Gotcha.
But the city, especially Terry and Brian were great. They helped us out, you know, when we had to do the transfer to indoors. They were on it and they were on the water situation right away. So couldn't ask for better. So, yeah, we had great sponsors this year. We had, you know, a lot of donations for the button prizes and for, to help with expenses. So, you know, it does take a whole community to put it on, and it, next year, you know, we'll do it again,
Do it
and
again.
it'll be just as fun, so.
As it turned out, we could have had the booster at the
Yeah.
park.
Park, yeah.
Once we made the call, it was pretty hard to go back.
Yeah.
And I mean, I watched that weather for a long time, and I was on, you know, the phone with Molly, and yeah, they just don't want to risk that equipment, and
Yeah.
and when you have people, and when, if we had started in the park and then the rain had come back, to have to move the people, it would have just been hard, so.
Thank you to the fire department for fireworks.
Yeah,
Very great show. That was long. That was nice. Yep.
it must work really well.
Yeah, electric wise or,
Yep, they're already talking about some small changes for next year.
That was pretty dirty.
Huh?
It's pretty dirty out in the golf course.
was it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Well, the wind was blowing the wrong place, and then I was talking to Seymour, he goes, yeah, we gotta get rid of those engine recorders, he goes, those things just. I was out there with my golf cart, I got home that night and looked on my roof, and
Oh,
I've been a war or what?
Will the fireworks be on the Tuesday next year, or when will they be?
We've always done them on the 4th, no matter
Okay.
when it is.
Sure.
Tuesday.
And once or twice we had a rain delay.
Yeah, I think the two main things I keep hearing are that the fireworks were the best ever, and that they were glad that the parade went off without the rain.
Mhm.
Still had a good turnout.
I had 2 grandchildren just waiting for the rain to stop.
Yeah, that was,
There were a lot of people watching and,
Ton of people watching.
and August 2nd, the ambulance has a lot of candy for the.
we sure do. I might have had a couple on the way home, but yeah, it was, we do have a lot of candy. That's.
All right. Anybody else have anything? Anything we forget? All right, we're adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, wasn't it fun?
No, I'm trying. Good job. Done.
Me?
Yep.
No, Don.